Hi everyone, this is a new kit that I wanted to show you. This is our no solder DIY cable kit. Very cool. So if you don't like soldering, or you don't want to solder, or you don't have a soldering iron, then you can still make your own USB cable. This is the little kit that you get, and I thought I would take you through and show you how to do it. So this is the stuff that you get in the bag. We've got our little card, and then we've got our paracord. So this is the paracord I've chosen. This is a nice bright green color that I thought would be fun to do. So this has been pre-cut to my 2-foot length that I've chosen. And then I've also got my wire here, which has my all 4 of my wires inside. And that has also been pre-cut to your chosen length. And then I've also taken off a little bit. We've got wire strippers, so yours will come with a little end stripped from the end for you, so you don't need any wire strippers for this one. Then I've got my little packet of connectors. And this is what makes this kit so cool. So these 2 little connectors, I've got a USB-A and a USB mini end, so that's what I'm doing this time. You can see from the top there that they've got 2 or 4 little holes and 2 little pieces. So you pop your wires into the holes and then you press down, and that's it. That's how easy it is to make this kit. Then we've got our metal outside pieces that go over the top, and finally our heat shrink to go on the outside to finish off our cable. So the first thing we need to do is make some space. So I'm going to move my heat shrink, my paracord, and my metal outers over here. And I'm going to start with my USB mini end. And what I want to do is, you can see a whole bunch of these silver wires around the outside. So I just want to take all of those away from the wires in the middle so I can get to those wires in the middle. And I'm just going to move them over to the side, and then I'm just going to twist them together so that they are out of the way. So just like that. And then I've got my different colors. So I've got black, red, yellow, and white in here. And so I just need to line them up so that they go into the little holes on my USB mini. So we want them in the order of red, white, black, and yellow. There we go. So red, white, black, and yellow. And let me zoom in for you, and I'll show you how this goes together. So you've got your 4 little holes there, and your 4 cables just here, your wires, and you're just going to pop them straight in there, like that, and then just push until you feel them hit all the way at the back. And if you look closely, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the little holes that you've got just here, you can actually see that all of those have gone through and are touching at the back, so you know that they're all the way in. So now, super easy. You can see that there's a little bit of white over top of the black. You want to make that level, so all you do is press down like that. I'm going to use 2 hands to do this. And if you're finding it a little bit tough to push that hard, then you can just grab a pair of pliers. This is only plastic, so do be careful. And all you're doing is making sure that these little white edges are in line and have. So if you look at the cable now, you can see that that white is in line, so there's no little piece sticking up here or on the other side. So next step, we need to put our paracord sheathing over top of our cable. So one way is to crunch the ends. So we have blowtorched the ends so that they don't fray, because if they start to fray, that just makes a huge mess. So you just sort of use your pliers and crunch the end up a little bit. You can hear that crunching, and that just takes the middle out away so that you can pull out your inner pieces, because you want to make room for your cable on the inside. So you need to take these pieces out. Now if that doesn't work for you, you can always take some scissors, cut off the torched end, pull out the white inners, but then you need to re-seal the paracord so that it doesn't fray. So you can use a match, you can use a lighter or a blowtorch or some sort of a heat source. You just want to make sure that it's not going to fray. Right, so that's the fibers that are, or the string that's on the inside of your paracord. So we want that out of the way so that there's room for our wire to go in there. And I'm just going to make sure that on both ends my paracord is open but not fraying. Like that. Alright, so then we need to feed our wire through. Now you can just feed the wire straight through as is, or I find if you put a piece of tape over the end, that makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to take my tape and wrap that around. It just gives it a little bit smoother way to feed it through. You don't have the wires sort of fighting a little bit against you. So I'm just going to do that. And then we start feeding it through. So just pop your taped end in. Like so. And then just slide it on through. Now there's no super quick way to do this. You just sort of inchworm it across. So push and pull out like that. Alright, so we're all the way through at this end. So that's my tape popping out. So we're just going to get that all the way through. And then I'm going to smooth out my paracord all the way to this end. And these silver wires that we had just here at the other end that were twisted, I'm just going to retwist those, and I'm going to pop my paracord up right against that and just fold those back over the outside of the paracord. And that's just so that they can touch the metal sheathing or cover that we're going to put over our USB end. So the other thing that you can do is pop a little bit of hot glue on there, and that will just help hold your paracord in place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that our glue gun has heated up, I'm just going to pull back my sheathing a little bit like this. We'll put a little bit of hot glue just back here, and then we're going to slide our paracord right over top, smoothing it out so that it is nice and close and going to stay there. And then we just fold our wires back over the top, and so that end is now ready. And so we're going to slide our paracord all the way down to our other end. We're going to take our tape off of this end. Alright, so you just want to check that your paracord is the right length. So if I pull mine all the way out, that is going to get all the way to the end of these wires. But while I'm popping it into its USB end, I am just going to pull it back a little bit. So just like our other end, we're going to take all of those silver wires out of the way and then just give them a little twist so that they are out of the way. And then we just need to line up our wires the same way we did the last one, but they're going the opposite way around this time. So we're going to switch over to this side. So this time we want to go yellow, black, white, and red. So yellow, black, white, and red. You want to make sure that they are all the same length at the moment. Mine look a little bit out. They'll have shifted a little bit while you're pulling your wire through. So I'm just going to you can take a pair of scissors just to make sure that they're all the same, because you want them to go into your USB all the same distance. So that's yellow, black, white, and red. So I'm just going to switch back to the close view so you can watch that going in again. So you've got the 4 little holes on the USB, and our 4 wires that we're just going to pop straight in, keeping the silver wires away. There we go. And then we're just going to push down. You can hear this one click. This one makes it feel a little bit more noise. There we go. So flush, you can see that. Clicked into place, heard a little click with that one, and your wires are secure in there. So now all we need to do is pop a little bit of glue on this end. So again, I'm going to just shimmy my sheathing all the way down so that it's exactly where I want it to be, which is right up against the connector. And then while I'm holding it kind of in place back here, I'm going to pull it back just a little bit there, pop a little bit of glue just back here, and push that straight back over the top. There we go. So that's nice and close up at the end, and it is going to hold in place. And then we're just going to fold our silver wires back over the top. Get the glue out of the way. There we go. Great. So that is that end all done. So see how simple that was? So there's your cable. That is a working cable at the moment. So we're just going to finish it off by putting our metal sheath or metal covers over the end and our heat shrink on. So very simply to do. So if you've done one of our kits before, these used to come in 2 pieces, or they still come in 2 pieces with the soldering kits. But for the mini and the A ends, they are a solid piece. And all you do is you have this little piece out of the way and this little piece out of the way. And it makes it really easy, and you just slide your connector, move a little more out of the way, slide your connector straight in just like that. Just push and you'll hear a little click, and then you can see that this end is flush with the bottom. Let me do a little close up. So you can see that that is flush on the bottom. There we go. And then all you need to do is you're going to fold your metal pieces in place. So that top one comes down, and then you're going to use some pliers to fold your pieces over the top. There you go. So that's one side all done and ready to go. And then we'll do the same with our other one. So this one comes as one piece like that, but you can see there's a little bend here. So you just bend that piece back like that, and that leaves a little opening for you to slide your end straight into. And again, you'll see it all the way at the end flush there. And then you fold that piece back down over the top, just like that. And then with your pliers, you just tighten the little pieces around the side. There you go. So that one is now all ready to go. And last but not least, we're going to pop some heat shrink over there just to finish off our cable. So that just larger piece just slides straight over the top there. You want to leave enough of this showing so that you can pop that into your device. And then I am just going to use a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer, or you could use a lighter, but be very careful. You don't want to set your heat shrink on fire or melt your cable or anything like that. So a hair dryer is probably a better option if you don't have a heat gun. There's one end. And then we will grab the other end. And there you go. That is your very own USB cable that you just made. No soldering required. Super cool, very easy, nice and quick. Pop over to oneupkeyboards.com to check out all the neat options that you can choose for your very own DIY, no solder required cable kit.